you start to reduce the breathing, you deliver more oxygen. Lightheadedness, dizziness, numbness, tiredness, they're very simply related primarily to ineffective oxygen
Even memory
delivery.
loss. I mean, that's something that's interesting. I'm forgetting everything all the time. I'm breathing very incorrectly. All right, so tell us about the workshops that you teach, sir, and some of the things that you take on in the workshops to help correct the way that people breathe.
Well, I get all sorts of people from very sick people with emphysema who are using oxygen, who would like to use less oxygen and less medicine, and they can when they work with me quite safely. And I get very healthy athletes who just want to be more effective in their sport, and many people with asthma, allergies, anxiety conditions. The workshops, I give free introductory lectures, and I'm giving a series of them this week.
That's wonderful.
From Thursday through to Sunday, so people can come along and find out and meet me and find out more about what I do. And the lectures go for around 2 hours, so there's plenty of opportunity to ask questions. And then I do workshops, and I also work online. That's a bit more expensive because it's very personal, but the workshops very effective, and they're 5 sessions, 5 2-hour sessions, and they're held over a week or two. And I'm doing a series of workshops following the lectures. But the free introductory lectures are very interesting to follow up, and people can see my website on the screen, and so they can check out the schedules there. They can also email me, text me, call me, and I'd be very happy to talk to anyone who's interested to know more.
The workshops are happening this week. Will they be
The lectures are this week, and the workshops will be following that in the following weeks.
I see. Where can they catch you for the lectures?
The lectures, let me see, tomorrow there's 2 lectures in Makati in Forbes Park, In Touch Community Services in McKinley Road, one at 2 p.m, one at 6 p.m. And then on Friday, there's a lecture in Mandaluyong in Mega Atrium in a centre called Living Life Well. That's at 6 p.m, I think, or 7 p.m, sorry. And then on Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m. in Loyola Heights, in Fildra Partnership Centre in Varsity Hills in Loyola Heights, and then on Sunday evening in Mega Atrium again at I think 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So a lot of opportunities to hear about it.
It's great to learn more. Actually, I learned a little bit from Gigi, one of our anchors and our co-hosts, because she was telling us a story about how someone that she knows went through the process of learning how to sleep better. Breathe better, and part of it was taping off the mouth.
Taping the mouth.
Right, when you're going to
Sounds a
sleep.
bit barbaric, actually, but most people who try it find that it gives them a much better sleep, or they rip it off.
during their sleep.
Yeah, oh yes, it's not dangerous because
our
urge to breathe is so strong that there's no problem. If you've got tape on your mouth, you just pull it off when you're asleep. But of course, if you do that, it would indicate that you're breathing wrongly during sleep. Sleeping with the mouth open is one of the most dangerous things that you could do for your health.
That's right. And not only is it dangerous, it's also very unattractive sometimes.
And the snoring that goes with it.
The snoring and the drool, you don't want to go there. All right, but there will be a test that people can also undertake.
Sure, there's a way that at the lectures, with a bit of supervision, I give people a way of testing their own breathing.
How bad it is.
But we can assume if you live in this modern lifestyle and you're not consciously doing something every day, like maybe meditating for an hour morning and night, or doing lots of yoga and being a vegetarian, if you're living this modern lifestyle, then the chances are you will be over-breathing, and there will be a deficit of carbon dioxide, and your body will suffer at some point in some way, depending on your background and history, etc.
So this could be a very proactive measure for you to prevent future diseases and illnesses.
Tool. It's a great tool, a very useful,
and I just took a breath with my mouth right there, so I have to make sure that I'm going to breathe.
It's challenging, isn't it? Especially when you talk. And those who are teachers like myself, if we didn't learn to breathe more correctly, then we'd get more tired, we'd get more mucus in the throat, we'd get more headaches. So it's very useful for teachers, and I give them specific exercises so they can do it more effectively.
Well, that's great. It sounds like there's a wealth of information really for
Lots
people to learn.
Yes.
If I could just, before we do have to go, if we could just leave our viewers with one piece of very important advice, or maybe the best time that they can really concentrate on breathing, or if there's something that
whenever you get a moment, it would be very useful to lengthen the back without stretching too much, just
Okay.
lengthening the spine and sit in a nice upright position.
Okay.
And to breathe softly and gently through in and out through the nose with no noise and no chest movement and a very relaxed belly.
How do you, when you say no chest movement, as in your chest doesn't
Well, if you
go
relax
really
the
up
belly, then what happens naturally is the diaphragm moves down when you breathe and the belly comes out a little bit, but the chest doesn't lift.
Oh,
If
so
the
it's really
chest
bad
is-
when women try to tuck in their bellies.
Actually, it's not great for breathing. And,
Really?
and you
Okay.
know that when you know about yoga, you will learn that the belly needs to be relaxed for proper breathing. And in fact, if your posture's good and your belly's relaxed, it doesn't stick out as much.
Okay, well, good to know, good to know. So take a couple of minutes. How many minutes should people really take out from their day to just to make sure that
They couldn't
practice?
take enough.
Okay.
It's like, you know, the more time you can spend doing watching the breath gently through the nose with a relaxed chest and a relaxed belly, the better and the healthier. But for many people, that would be insufficient. If we're talking about reversing health concerns, it takes a bit of work and some quite serious commitment to it, which is what the workshops are really all about.
Well, that's great.
But
You
people
can-
should look at the website. There's lots of information there.
will.
And there's even a video you can connect to on YouTube. If you punch in Buteyko and my name, you can see a great little video that was done on Star World with some demonstration and so on.
Well, it sounds like there really is a whole wealth of information that people can learn. I'm sure I'll be checking this out later on in the day
Excellent.
as well.
Great
And-
for TV hosts, yeah.
I know, right? A lot of times you end up, running out of breath, and maybe if we could correct that, then that doesn't help with my karaoke. It won't help with my karaoke score now, will it?
Well, and that's an interesting
just
point
teasing.
because if you're a singer, singers tell us that their vocal range improves, they can hold notes more effectively, and initially I tell them not to sing for a week or so till they get the breathing at rest correctly, but certainly it helps singers. I've even taught opera singers. I taught an opera singer, a very famous opera singer in Australia, which is where I come from, who actually used to use asthma medication before she went on stage, and when she went for a run every day, she was able to eliminate that completely, which is very common. People can eliminate CPAP machines very safely and live without them and have no sleep apnea if
That's
they
great.
work at it.
That's great. Ron should be listening. I think he may be having some problems with sleeping, if I'm not
It's an
mistaken.
increasingly
Right.
common problem, and unfortunately the solution that's offered to most people is only to spend a lot of expensive money on tests and then have to wear a several $1,000 machine for the rest of their life. If they do this and they practice it with diligence, they can safely sleep without the machine. And it takes a bit of work, it's not for everybody because not everybody's willing to do that for their health.
It
For
is
those who are,
is
this
it-
is a great proactive step.
May I ask, is it a hefty investment that you make or that people should make off the bat right now?
Sorry?
Then will it be a small investment as far as the lectures and the workshops are? Not the lectures, but the
Well,
workshops.
the lectures are free, and the workshops cost money. But what it costs to have illness is
And
beyond
those
that.
machines
In the
as
cost
well.
of those machines, it's a tiny fraction of what most people spend on sleep apnea, and over a lifetime, it's a tiny fraction of what people spend just on medication alone. So there's a lot of areas where people can save money in the long term if they're interested in long-term investment. And for many people, short-term benefits as well.
That's great. Well, thank you so much, Jac. We'll definitely check out the website later on. Your aura just seems very relaxed and at peace.
Well, I hope
if
so.
I seem to attain that somehow a little bit
Got
more,
to walk my
I will.
talk. For a
Right.
61-year-old, I'm looking okay and I'm doing okay.
You look great. All right. Well, we'll watch out for those lectures and those workshops. Check out your website and
Thank
your
you very
contact
much,
information.
Ginger.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
having
much.
me on board.
All right, well, coming up, Kuya Kim Atienza is taking a break from television for a heart operation. We'll give you the details on that when Mornings at ANC continues.